My name is Miranda O. I am the author of the Chin Up Tits Out series. It's a 2 out of 3 books for a 3-book series that have been out. I put the first 2 books out in about 11 months, and I'm kind of working on continuously building that foundation, and then hopefully going to release the 3rd book within the next year and a half or so. So nothing too quick soon, but that gives everybody the opportunity to get their hands on book 1 and 2, because those 2 are wild rides.
If you had to use one line you have written to describe the artist you started out as, what would that line be?
I was thinking about this, and so one line that I've wrote, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I would go with the title of my book, Chin Up, Tits Out. I definitely would, and I've been thinking about this a lot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what would I be? But I think that's just that mentality that I just did growing up and through my 20s, and that's really who I've become as an artist and as a writer. Is like, no matter what happens, like if I trip and fall on my face, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna chin up, tits out, and just keep moving forward. So that's the line.
Near the end of a project, what is the emotion you find yourself more often feeling, and how long does it typically last?
Nearing the end of the writing phase of my project, I get really excited. I'm not gonna lie. The writing part is probably like middle on the fun spectrum for me. The editing is for sure on the bottom. But near the writing, the end, you're getting all that done. I get super excited because that means that I get to launch my book. And launching my book is like the fun, like we get to party like that. It's a party. We get to party and celebrate confidence and celebrate just life, and that just, I will fly high on that wave for months.
Dealing with critics, you've always found it better to what?
Ooh, laugh, first of all. I think that like anybody that wants to speak about my work or our work, it's always really good to listen to it and to really take it. But, I pat myself on the back almost after I laugh. And then sometimes I cry because, I mean, some people are pretty harsh. But hey, that's okay. But after that, I pat myself on the back. I'm like, you know what? Girl, you evoked emotion.
There you go.
And that, I like that. I try to get to that phase of that emotion as quick as I can. Um, yeah, critics are critics, right? Everybody's going to have an opinion, whether it's about my work, whether it's about my decisions in life, whether I should eat the cookie or not eat the cookie. I don't care. I'm going to eat the cookie if I want to eat the cookie, right? And I'll just deal with the consequences after that.
This might be a very unique question because a lot of what you write has real life characters to it to a certain extent, but you were a mad scientist and could actually bring one of your characters to life. Who would that be and why?
Ooh, I would bring my main character Hadley to life. And the reason why I would do that would be because I feel like she is a more refined person than I am. Like, she would give me wisdom. And the only reason I know I think that, or I say that, is because when I write, I pour myself into my books. And I just have at her, like, say whatever comes to my mind without even thinking about it. Like, you just type and you don't even know what comes out until you reread it afterwards. It's edited. She's edited. She's refined. We trim the fat. We put pretty bows on the writing. We, straighten up her collar. We dust herself off. Like, I would bring her to life because I think that she would just be able to move mountains with with her confidence and her words.
So that being said, with this character, do you feel like when you're writing her, she does that for you in that context as well? Does she guide you a little bit and tell you, I wouldn't say that?
Uh, Not on the first draft, no. But on the second and third draft, then, then she comes in, she comes back in and she's just like, girl, pulling the reins a little bit. Like, you can't say that out loud in a book or ever. It is just not appropriate. So yeah, she definitely, we almost kind of, she's like the inner voice, right? That she's my inner voice, really, but a more refined one. She's not always the devil. She's not always the angel. She's kind of like the be all end all up top.
Leveling the playing field where you never had to be concerned about money, time, resources. Give us one way in which you would be the same artist you are right now, and one way in which you would be vastly different.
Well, I think my idealism of chin up and tits out, and that confidence, and that very openness that I've always been told that I have, that wouldn't change. My reach would simply be bigger, I think. I wouldn't, I would, and I probably wouldn't be such a cheap penny pinching Ukrainian. Yep. I'm like, okay, so can't go out for dinner tonight because that's not in my budget, but I can have dinner next week on Thursday. You good with that? So I would probably be a little bit more open to, spending a little bit more and seeing a little bit more of the world and reaching more people, right? That would be my goal, would be really, if I had no money issues, not have to sit at a job every day, I would be out there meeting as many people as I could, shake hands, kiss babies, hug strangers. That would be different.
Do you think you would be a more prolific writer if that was the case?
Ooh, that's the question that I always ask myself, because once this third book is done, this series is done, and I've been toying with the idea a lot, and I think my personal life is just so ridiculous that I don't think I can stop writing, because I finish a week and I'm like, guys, let me tell you about my week, and people are like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, right? So it's kind of like I think that I will always have this really wonderful bank of material to write about. And I think it would just be as sad if I stopped writing after the third book. So yeah, definitely more books would come along, and who knows what could happen with those books, right?
Right.
If they turn into motion pictures one day, TV shows, movies, like that would be an ultimate dream come true. And I think, that would be the biggest difference between now and no money, no money issues or anything else.
So tell us, what is Chin Up, Tits Out really about? What is the crux of this story that people will invest their time into?
So the message between the lines is really, when all else fails, no matter what, when you fall down, whatever happens in your life, to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, chin up, tits out, and move forward. It's that confidence piece, right? And that's really the message behind the books. But the books itself, remember, no matter what, it's the red cover book. It's book number 1. You meet Hadley. She's a main character. She meets the love of her life. He's from the other side of the world. She's from Canada. And they battle with immigration and long distance for 4 years. And it's just every roadblock you can imagine. There's, immigration issues, there's racial issues, there's long distance relationship issues, all these little things that everybody kind of goes through or knows somebody that goes through it. And so you follow Hadley, and she's telling you this story. And as she's telling you this story, about her getting lost in an African bush, and, running around with carnival rides, and, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, then you have her little inner voice kind of chirping in between each and every paragraph every now and then, right? And so you not only get to see her do her thing and get to see the people in her life, but then you get this little twisted psycho inner voice that, like, she's she's sassy and spicy, and that really relates to people that are reading it. Well, at least I think it does, because we all have it. We all have that spicy little inner voice that we dare never say out loud, unless we're with our really close friends or, you know, our partner or family or somebody. But yeah, we don't, you know, it comes out, and Hadley really owns that inner voice. And we get into the second book, and she has she brings home her partner, and it's gonna be all happy, yeah, like happily ever after, and then like whoosh, life smacks her in the face with another curveball, and one that she was never expecting at all. The book two deals with disease and mental illness, and like family, and like losing your job, and like all this stuff. And it's so intense, but it's written from such a positive and such a twisted way that it's like, when you go through something like that, when you have a day from hell and it's so bad, if you have a choice to cry, but it hurts so much to cry because you've been doing it all day, what are you gonna do? You're gonna laugh about it. Like, it's that kind of book where it's so ridiculous that you're laughing and you're crying, and then hopefully you're gonna sip some wine and it's all gonna be better. And that's kind of where, and goes into book two. And I won't get into what book three is, because I want everybody to get into kind of book two, because that's like a good reality check for everybody who reads this. It's a good reality check. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. My name is Miranda O. Last name is O-H. And you can find me on Amazon.com, .ca, whatever dot it is. I'm all over the place on Amazon. And if you're in Canada, you can order through Chapters and Indigo as well. So please follow me. I would love to. I love making new friends.
And she's worth the follow, trust me. I especially enjoy her Instagram.
I walked into the gym the other day, and one guy was like, "Yo, this chick's Instagram is popping," and I'm like, "Who are you? Who are you? Like, I'm in Winnipeg. Who are you?" I was like, "Oh, okay. Hey."
That's awesome. All right, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it, my friend. Have a great one.
Thank you.
I read the blurb to the first one, and I knew that was going to be a Christmas gift for my mother-in-law or my wife for sure. I knew it right off the bat.
It's a perfect gift, especially book one, because it's super short. Like it's 100 and something pages, so it's like a quick, easy read, and it's a perfect gift for somebody. Because like, if somebody likes reading, do you want to commit to a book that you don't really know anything about, that's 300 plus pages? Like, that's commitment. And I don't know, maybe it's a me thing and I just don't like commitment. But that's a lot. Like, that's a lot. So yeah, go for the 130 page book, and then you're gonna love it, and then they can go and get book two, and that's the 300 page book. That's the book that they invest time in.